was wearing the dress. I wouldn't eat or drink anything except water, and I would stay inside at all times. I promise I'm not usually this crazy about cleanliness, but this was my mum's dress, and the thought of it being damaged broke my heart. But I also knew I wanted to wear it when I got married, to have a piece of her with me. She adored this dress and always dreamed that I would wear it. My bridesmaids knew very well about my particularities with the dress. I had a room above the venue where I was getting ready. My dress was hanging in a safe place in the room. On the day of the wedding, I went down to check on something for the wedding, leaving my bridesmaids in the room. Here's what's happened, as they told it to me. They opened a bottle of Pinot Noir, my favorite, as celebration. They poured themselves glasses and began to walk around checking out the room. One of my bridesmaids, Anna, 27 female, wanted to get a closer look at the dress. She got really close to it and she started touching the lace. Somehow her hand holding the wine glass slipped and the wine spilled all over the bottom of the dress. When I came upstairs, they told me what happened and I started sobbing. My maid of honor called several professional cleaners and they said there was no way they could get the dress in before the wedding. They told us ways to save the dress until we could get it into them, so my maid of honor started doing that. After that call, I became extremely angry. I asked Anna what the hell she was doing holding red wine so close to my dress, when she knew how careful I was being. She dismissed it and said it wasn't such a big deal because I was planning to wear the dress, so it could have gotten damaged that way too. I couldn't believe she said that. I called her thoughtless and careless and stupid. I told her that she was no longer part of the wedding and I wanted her to leave. She left. Neither of us have reached out to the other since. I got married in the dress I had planned to wear for the reception, and I was heartbroken not to be wearing my mum's dress. After the wedding, my bridesmaids joked that I was a bridezilla for kicking Anna out after she made an honest mistake. I absolutely don't think I'm the a-hole or a bridezilla because Anna's reaction was so horrible and insincere, but I wanted to get the story off my chest and ask some people who might be more impartial. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole at all, I'm sorry, but Anna's reaction to damaging the dress would immediately make me cut her off as a friend instead of like being very apologetic and stuff. She's just like, oh well, it could have gotten damaged anyway, so meh. Like, what on earth? That's an awful attitude to have. It may be me overthinking this, but it low-key makes me feel like it may not have been an accident and it was, malicious. Because if I accidentally ruined something that was so important to my friend, I would be mortified with myself. And she just didn't really seem to care, The top comment here says, why would you wander around with a glass of wine next to a white wedding dress that had such extreme sentimental value? Literally, I agree with that. I don't think there should have been any drinks in the room with the dress at all. They knew the score. Like, they knew that the bride wasn't planning to have anything around it except water, just in case, So that rule should also apply to them. They shouldn't be able to, crack open a drink. Also, like, why not just wait for the bride to get back before you celebrate with drinks? It seems a bit weird. Okay. The next one is by a deleted account and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for not wearing a bra to my friend's wedding? I, 23 female, have small boobs. invasive question, as you literally can't tell if I had a bra on in the first place or not in that dress, and I'm not sure no one over there, and I'm sure no one over there is staring at my chest. Gently, very, very, very gently, I think that they are the a-hole. Like, don't get me wrong, I am all for free the boob, you know. Breastfeed in public, don't wear a bra, do whatever you want as long as you're not literally flashing someone, like, you know. I don't think people should have to wear a bra. Especially if it's not obvious and it's not like, you know, it's not like affecting anyone, it's not flashing anyone, whatever. But just like the top comment here says, I very much feel like for the friend to bring it up in private, I think that it's way more noticeable than the OP things. Like, the OP thinks that it's not noticeable at all. But for them to bring it up and ask, I feel like it is, and they just don't realise, and that's them gently trying to tell them, like, listen, I know you think that your chest is small enough that people don't notice, but they do. Like, just for this one day, because it's my one day, can you please wear a bra? I think that's like a reasonable request. Yeah, the top comment said, if she's bringing it up, maybe it's more noticeable than you think. Is this really a hill you want to die on? She's not asking you to colour your hair or hide tattoos. Is this worth threatening a friendship over? If it's that much of a burden, do you take it off after the ceremony and photos? Soft, you're the a-hole. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, I feel like people should be able to choose whether they want to wear a bra or not, but it's your friend's wedding. It's for one day, and it's clearly more noticeable than you think. Just suck it up for one day for your friend and just wear a bra. Okay, the next one is buy child-free weddings. I told them I'm the a-hole for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding. So I recently proposed to my long-term girlfriend, and we are planning for a wedding in summer next year. Everything is still very, very early stages. My fiance has expressed that she wants a child-free wedding, which I'm all down for, but I want to make one exception. My son, 15 male, I had him from a previous relationship, and we have evenly split custody of him. Until now, my fiance has gotten along great with him. We've had days out as a family. She's gone to see his games. He plays ice hockey, and she's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. I brought up that I wanted to make an exception to the no-kids rule for my son. She shot the idea down straight away and said that she didn't want anyone under 16 there, as she doesn't want to feel like she or anyone else has to babysit on his special day. I told her that no one would have to babysit him. He's 15 and she knows he's well behaved and a generally quiet kid. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my whole family and life on the day I was supposed to be making a commitment to her and our new family. I told her while I will be making a commitment to her, my son will still very much be my son and my family. She then equated since the only child is the son of the groom. She called me a dick and is now not talking to me. I really think that this is a reasonable want. But maybe I'm not seeing something, so am I the a-hole? That's insane. I'm sorry, but for me personally, that alone would be enough for me to call off the wedding. Not wanting him to have his own son at the wedding and saying like, oh, why are you focusing on your old family instead of making a new one? That's insane. Just because he's marrying her doesn't mean that the rest of his family will just disappear. His son will always be his son, and if he's a good dad, he will never ever put another woman before his child. So it's insane for her to think like that. And it makes me feel like everything so far has been a sort of act, you know, like she's been nice to the kid just to get in his good books, in the dad's good books, and then take him for herself. Because if you really were nice and liked the kid, why would you have any objection to the son being at the wedding? It's literally your fiance's child. I would never, ever, ever dream of trying to separate a parent and a child like that. That's insane. And it's so narcissistic for her to assume that she will be his only family from now on. That is just insane. And also, like, he's 1 year younger than the age they said for child free. Like, it's not like he's a 4-year-old that's gonna need constant catering to. He's old enough, you know. That is just crazy. I would definitely call off the wedding, but that's just me. That's just me. Okay. Okay, this next one is by A Little Toasty, and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for keeping track of wedding gifts? I can already say my verdict, but let's read it. Am I the a-hole for keeping track of wedding gifts? I, 26 female, got married in the spring of 2024. I made a spreadsheet to keep track of wedding gifts / money so I can properly send thank you cards to everyone and personally mention what they gave us without it feeling like a copy-paste blanketed thank you. I was always told that your wedding gift should be about the same cost as your plate at the reception. As my friends have now started to have weddings, I will reference a spreadsheet to see what they gave me, so I can be fair in my gift. I will also Google the venue and search average cost of plate at certain venue. My question is regarding a friend who's getting married next month. She showed up empty-handed to my wedding. Would it be rude to do the same to her? I feel bad because I know how expensive weddings are and the reception plate is around what mine cost. But I'm also a big believer in what comes around goes around. Should I just say come as a bitch or suck it up and pay the respectable amount? That is a crazy, crazy thought process. I would not want to be your friend. I will never understand people who put monetary values on friendships and relationships and such. Like, that is crazy to me. That's crazy. Me personally, even if they got nothing for me, I'm gonna choose something that I think they would find useful, or something that I know that they would want, or something sort of sentimental for them to cherish. I would get as much as I can afford because I want to celebrate them. I'm I have been with my fiancé for over 3 years. We have been engaged for one of those years. Our wedding is set for September 6th. My fiancé has been growing a beard ever since March or so. I haven't thought anything of it since I've seen him with a beard plenty of times before. I'd say since I've known him it's been about 50-50 between him clean shaven and him having a beard. I jokingly brought up his beard on our wedding the other day. I said, "You ready to have a clean shaven face for our wedding?" He looked at me and was silent for a few seconds. He finally said, I was going to leave my beard for the wedding. I gave him a pretty gross look and said, "No, you are not. That is not acceptable. I will not have that." He got mad that I was telling him what to do and said that I can't tell him what to do with his grooming preferences. I said that I have the right to, since it is my wedding and I am marrying him. Newsflash, it's your wedding, but guess what? It is also his wedding. We kept going back and forth about it until I said that I would cancel the wedding if he doesn't shave. He didn't budge. He ended up getting really mad by that comment and left shortly after. He's barely texted me since that happened. I've told my friends and family about the situation, and part of them agree with me that while some say that I had no right to tell him to do that and I was being a jerk for doing so. Just to clarify, I don't hate his beard, it's fine. I think at times that it can be attractive. I just don't really like the idea of him not being clean shaven on our wedding day. I feel as though the pictures will not be as classy and nice. So Reddit, am I the a-hole in this situation? The biggest, fattest yes I have ever said in my life. That is crazy. I would never in my life even think about trying to dictate what my husband did with his hair, with his beard, with his what clothes he wore, what shoes he wore. I would not ever even dream about trying to dictate how he looks on his special day. I want him to get all dressed up exactly how he wants to, how he feels comfortable, how he feels handsome, and marry me. That is it. That is it. I want him to feel good about the way he looks. I'm sorry, but like, if he told her that he wanted her, that she had to cut or dye her hair in a certain way, and she had to be clean shaven everywhere, or she had to wear a certain style of dress that he liked, she wouldn't be happy with that. I can tell you that now. She would not like the fact that he would be trying to dictate what she does with her body, with her style on her wedding day. That is the most insane thing I've ever read. I feel as though she does not truly love that man, because if you love him, why would you threaten to cancel the wedding over his beard of all things? My fiance can do what he wants when we get married. He can wear a blue suit, a grey suit, a black suit. He can have beard, no beard, curly hair, shave his hair all off, whatever he wants to do. I'm marrying that man because I love him to death and I find him so incredibly handsome no matter what. So I feel like the love really isn't there. I feel so bad for that man, and maybe I'm being too harsh, but I hope he calls a wedding off. I hope he finds someone that truly appreciates and loves him exactly how he wants to be. Like, let the man feel like himself. Top comment said, "You're the a-hole. As a woman, you should understand the concepts. My body, my choice. The fact that you are denying him the right to choose what he wants is messed up. It would be the same as him telling you what to do with your hair. If you're that petty, just let the poor man go so we can find someone else. And by the way, the wedding is about both bride and groom. I hate women like you who think the wedding is only about them. Sorry to break it to you, but it's not. Yep, that's exactly how I feel. Okay, this next one is by Lickos Price. I don't know, I definitely said that wrong. It's titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my best friend I love him on his wedding night? Again, I feel like I already know my verdict, but here we go. Last December, my 28 female best friend, 23 male, married his girlfriend, 30 female, of 2 years. They had a beautiful white tie garden wedding at a nice estate. I've known my best friend since childhood. We used to spend every second together. We went to the same elementary and high school, and only lived a few doors down from each other. We kept talking about when he went to university, but stopped talking about... We kept talking when he went to university, but stopped talking for about 4 years when I went and made different friends. But eventually we both found jobs in our hometown and reconnected. I've always thought my best friend was attractive, but I've never made a move because I'm a more traditional person and he never asked. We both went to prom with different people, dated different people in college, etc. We never kissed or had any other physicality. So fast forward to his wedding night, the whole thing felt wrong to me. I ended up liking his now wife, but during the period in which they were dating and engaged, I still hung out with my best friend all the time. We'd go stargazing, hiking, etc., but there was never any romantic subtext to it. On the night of the wedding, I asked one of my other friends what I should do, and she recommended that I tell him my feelings before the wedding. She said that I would regret it forever if I didn't, and I realized this was true. I didn't get a chance to talk to him before the ceremony, but afterwards I managed to pull him aside and tell him that I've loved him forever. He started to cry and told me to leave. I've only spoken to him once since last December, when he texted me to make sure I was fine considering the current plague. Am I the a-hole? If I am, please help me resolve this. I really miss my best friend. That's crazy. Yes, you are the a-hole. How can I make this incredibly special day that is not about me entirely? You've had your entire life growing up together to confess these feelings. And I'm sorry, but at that point it's too late. It's his goddamn wedding day. Let the man be happy. Let him have his day without you ruining it. You could have told him a week before, a month before. Even a few days would have been better than on the actual wedding day. That just screams, like, look at me, give me the attention, like, no. Top comment says, you're the a-hole. If you don't, you'll regret it forever. Are you kidding? You just made his wedding day about you and your feelings. You either should have told him long before the wedding, or should have kept your mouth shut. Now he'll always remember that on his wedding day, and it's your fault. Yep, that is exactly how I feel about it. That's crazy. That's really bad. Okay. I think this is gonna be the last one for tonight because I'm getting really hot. It's by another deleted account and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for secretly selling alcohol at my dry wedding to cover costs? So I, 27 female, recently got married. My husband, 29 male, and I planned a pretty big wedding, about 300 guests. It was beautiful, honestly a dream. There's just one thing. Our families are super conservative and very religious, so we told everyone it would be a dry wedding, aka no alcohol. That decision kept the peace with our parents and extended family VIP bar hidden at the venue. It was a large event hall with a garden and private side rooms. I gave a heads up to about 75 of our younger friends and more chilled cousins and basically had them pay for drinks. Think a wedding speakeasy. The drinks were priced reasonably, like $5 a beer, $8 for cocktails, and people were happy to pay because one, open bar weddings are rare in our circle, and two, they thought it was kind of fun. Long story short, between the money from drinks and tips, we made about $2,000, which helped cover part of the catering bill. The issue is, word got out. A few of my aunts overheard someone talking about the secret bar, and now my mum is livid. She says I lied to everyone and disrespected the family and made a mockery of our values. My mother-in-law also called me manipulative and selfish, but honestly, most of our guests didn't even know it happened, and the ones who did loved it. We didn't force anyone to drink, we just gave the option discreetly. My husband is kind of in the middle. He gets why I did it, but wishes I had told him beforehand. I didn't because I knew he'd get stressed and say no out of guilt. So am I the a-hole for secretly selling the alcohol at my dry wedding to offset the cost? Yes, you are the a-hole. For the one reason of, you kept it from your husband. If you were gonna do something like this and try and, if you were gonna try and make both parties happy, the younger folks and the religious folks, by having a secret bar, you should have had your husband involved. And if he said no,